Hi everybody, welcome to C-Suite Strategy, Elevate Every Move, Scale Beyond. And our topic of discussion today is C-Suite brands drive value. What happens when leaders go silent? Your go-to podcast on tech, cybersecurity, strategy, and growth. I am your host Prem Kumar today, and we'll explore how leadership going silent matters to organizations. A special welcome to all tuned to Power of Knowing Forum's weekly podcast series, episode 291, live on LinkedIn. To have this topic discussed, we have the honor of having Roshini Bhattacharya, founder, the Mind Beyond Self Leadership Coach, Inner Compass Life Design Mentor, Purpose Strategist, joining us today. Let's welcome our esteemed speaker to the podcast event and dive into the topic. Hi, Roshini. Welcome to our podcast. How are you today?
Hello, Mr. Prem Kumar. I'm good. Hope you are doing good.
I'm doing wonderful, madam.
Thank you.
A small intro about yourself to the audience.
Okay, yes. So, what I am doing today is not I was doing 20 years ago. It was pretty different. Number one, I started my career very late. I didn't start it early because I decided to get married early and start my career later. So when I started my career, it was from a very small company which used to work with the Paradip Port Trust and was based in Calcutta. Then I had done few projects with Apollo Hospitals, and then I was with Kotak Life for a few months. This is how I tried to navigate my career, but somehow I wasn't feeling good. I was feeling a kind of gap in everything that was being told because in earlier days, we have to follow our leaders. So I was finding a gap. I wasn't happy with what I was doing, how I was doing, but I didn't understand like how things should actually work. So I was not clear about the entire picture. Then I got bored. I said, not for me. This is not my work. I'm quitting. I took a sabbatical and gave it a thought like, what should I do? But I can't sit back at home, so I should do something. Then I started exploring and I found, okay, I can do courses which will train me for training the leaders or training people for anything. So I did this NABIT accreditation and then I started my journey. Slowly, I elevated myself, upgraded myself, learned from people while I was doing all those workshops. And today I am into this particular profile where I actually try to show people how they can align their own self with the outer self. So it's like projecting what you really are within to the outer world. That's why I said, I tell myself I'm an inner growth coach.
Thank you for that detail. I think it all started with exploring ourselves to do what we want to do as a passion. I think that's where it started. I think,
Yes,
Roshni.
yes, yes.
Uh, Coming
And that is the
to
foundation for
yeah,
anything that you do.
yeah. Now we are talking about a pointer where we are talking about C-suite brands driving value. Now, to take the first point that I want to understand from your is what is personal branding and how is it different for C-suite leaders?
Okay, first, I would say it is a process. It is not just a one day thing, it is a continuous journey. So it has to be intentional. Intentionally, you manage or define yourself to the world, outer world. That is, you control your narrative. Before others say what you are, you tell the world what you are. So, what do we do here? We create trust. And then we amplify, like if we are in the C-suite leadership, we amplify the company's brand and also establish the authority that we have to. So when I say establish the authority, it is not like bossing around. No, authority in the subject or authority in the value proposition there that you are giving. to the people. So that is about branding or leadership branding. Now, leadership branding again is not much different from general branding. Just we have to, tweak a little few things and maybe concentrate on those few things more than the other parts.
Now, what you're saying is it is not much different when we talk about branding. Brand is one as the organization that you work.
Yes.
That could be one of the way of looking at brand, and the
So
other
can I
way
share
is,
an example here? Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you.
sure,
Can I?
right, yeah.
It is just a simple example. So here I'm showing the example of a thing,
Mhm.
right? Suppose I give you a basic Nokia phone, the ones we had before, the keypad ones, and I give you an iPhone 17, both for free or both at the same cost. Which one will you pick?
I'll pick an iPhone 70.
Definitely. Why? The brand
Ah,
value.
brand value is one. The second is that the security features and the way it is functioning.
That is the brand.
Yeah,
How do you differentiate the brand? So the brand has its features, right? Even
yeah.
when it comes to people, people
Mhm.
also have their own features, unique values, that is.
Okay, got it. Uh, you mean to say that when you have your brand, people trust you is one thing that you are trying to say in as many
Most
as words as
definitely.
possible.
Most definitely.
What extra edge is it for the CEO?
Okay. Now, what does a CEO who has a strong brand signal? Three things.
Mhm.
One is the stability,
Okay.
another is the purpose, and the third thing is vision. So, when a CEO has these three things, stakeholders or say employees who want to work with you, we who have really high talent, will look for these three things in a CEO in particular. Now, what we I didn't discuss during this branding phase or the meaning of personal branding phase is that personal branding lies on seven pillars. It rests on seven pillars. What is that? Authenticity,
Hmm.
clarity, credibility, value, visibility, consistency, and networking. Now, when we talk about a CEO or a C-suite leader for that matter has to actually look into three things in particular. That is the clarity. What is the what clarity? Clarity in the unique value proposition that the leader gives. Consistency in what you say, what you do, like walking the talk. It shouldn't be different. And yeah, the online persona and the offline persona shouldn't be different.
Yeah.
People should be able to relate, right? Credibility develops. If you have consistency and clarity, credibility will definitely develop because people then have that trust on you.
Yeah.
Say, for example, if we take the example of a very prominent CEO, Satya Nadella, what happened when he became the CEO of Microsoft? He rearranged the company's narrative or the company's vision towards empathy and collaboration. So, what happened because of that? He attracted customers and high value talents or high end talents who aligned with the forward thinking innovation of the company. So, what did it give? It gave growth to Microsoft. And Satya Nadella came across as an authentic leader, as a leader who his team members can look up to, right?
Yeah. I think what you're saying is uh, one way of looking at is how leaders shape the organizations in terms of the values and the culture that they want to build becomes a kind of a brand for the others to follow, is what you're saying. Am I right
Right,
in saying that?
right, 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 right.
How should leaders strike a balance between authenticity, strategy, without coming across unathletic leader?
This is a very crucial question.
Yeah.
Now, then again, here, which I need to share first before I really answer your question. Again, personal branding is also dependent on 5 P's, not the 5 P's of marketing. So, this one is very different. This is personal branding, and marketing branding is different. So, what is this? This is one. The first thing is purpose. Now, what is this purpose connected to? People. Now, when purpose is connected to people, what do you have to do? It is implementation. So, the process which shows your performance and takes you to progress, right? Now, for all these, the leader has to be aligned with the organizational mission and vision. Number one, that is completely an important factor which we cannot overlook. But for that, when I am coming across as a brand to the wall, this is my outer self. But when I want to be authentic, my inner self has to be in alignment with my outer self. So the what is the thing that I should do? I should sit back and do some inner work. So I should think, what are those things that uh, I find value in? What are my principles? What special can I add? What extra value can I add? What are my special skills? So, problem solver, for example, that is okay. Lot of people say I am a problem solver, but what specific problem can you solve? That is like when you know your skill, then you have to draft your unique value proposition which you are going to present to the world. So that what happens is your inner self is actually in alignment with your outer self. So you come across as a genuine person. Second thing what you have to do is connect with people through storytelling. It is a very, very powerful resource. Now, storytelling is not boasting, not saying what I have done or what I have achieved. So, while I have done something, while I have achieved something, I also had my share of failures. I should not shy away from sharing this. Then only people will find me authentic. People will place their trust on me or on a leader. On me is, in the sense, on a leader. That is how things are going to work. Then, there is one thing I have seen in many leaders. Suppose LinkedIn is a platform, they start sharing everything. So, what should I share? What should I not share? The selective vulnerability is a big point, right? I should not come across somebody who is actually boasting, but across somebody who is adding value. So, if I'm sharing something from my personal life, that should be connected to my professional life. It cannot be independent of each other. So, all these things together, when we are mindful about, it automatically proves that you are authentic and others also place your trust in you.
Now we spoke about LinkedIn as a platform, right? Now you're talking about how it connect personal versus the brand side that you're looking at LinkedIn. How can executives use LinkedIn to scale their authentic influence? Because for a professional network, LinkedIn is the number one channel, nothing
Yes,
else,
of
right?
course, of
So
course.
if you are looking at bringing authentic influence, most of the executives are there. So how do we see LinkedIn from that perspective?
Okay. So, first of all, is what I am posting on LinkedIn, is it relevant? Is it adding value? Is it giving some kind of an encouragement? Is the context aligned with my purpose, with my mission, or my company's mission? First of all, the thing is, when I'm posting in LinkedIn, and if I am a C-suite leader, what I should do is I should always be mindful of the fact that my post, my brand image should be aligned with the company's brand image. It shouldn't be different. It should run parallelly, or like the ecosystem should be such that it becomes symbiotic in relationship. The moment the moment I am accelerating my company's brand also should accelerate. So I exist for my company and my company exists for me. This is how it should be. So adding insights, and again, storytelling works everywhere. Whatever you talk about, storytelling is the key. So if you want to unlock something, that is the key, which is storytelling. Whatever you put, if it is through stories, people connect easily. Much more, it gives much more value. And of course, the post should be around your values and experiences so that people gather insights from those. When the person is at a C-suite position, they have tremendous amount of experience, which they can influence with, where others can get some insights from or draw examples from. So this is very important. And in LinkedIn, it shouldn't be like leaders shouldn't come across like they're boasting. It is, if we have to share our achievements, then it has to have a purpose. It should not come across a boasting, or it's not like, it is not Instagram where I just put my selfies. I won this award, I went there, I went here. What was the purpose? What is the value in it? Just posting won't help. People should be able to connect. Again, like I said, it shouldn't appear to people like the leader is boasting. It should come across like an inspiration from where other gathers something, a momentum, kind of, okay, I can follow this person. This person is an inspiration for me. This is how I should walk. This is how, if I want to grow in my career, this is how I should take things. This is what I should learn. So yes, and then again, when it is Instagram, you have a very wide audience. So definitely you have to be careful always about what you're posting. We shouldn't post anything. Say, suppose it is about a controversial topic, or something which is not done, any unfinished project. C-suite leaders should never ever discuss those on LinkedIn.
I think my view of LinkedIn, it's a professional network, so everybody understands that it is a professional network. But nowadays we see a lot of content which is coming up
Basics.
and messing up. It is going on some of the religious part. Also, few posts are getting in that side as well, and few posts are going on some pointers which does not make a point on LinkedIn. That's where I think that's the way LinkedIn is getting into. I think that will get cleared out soon, is what I understand. But I leave it to the LinkedIn team to look at it. Now, coming to the point.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
if I may interrupt you here a little bit. So,
yeah.
why I took this up is because I have seen a lot of people, um, not only C-suite leaders, a lot of other people, maybe even coaches, posting what they have done, what they have, where they have coached. But that is not important because people already know you as a coach. What is more important is what value you are adding. So it is actually important to add valuable posts rather than posting where I have coached, whom I have coached, where did I go. That is of least importance once you are established as a coach. Yes, before establishing yourself, definitely that matters. So it will again depend. from role to role and from position to position.
I think your point is valid when we speak about what is the value that I get while listening to what you've been doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's the key takeaway these people would look at, is what I understand. Am I right in saying that, Roshni?
Yes, of course.
Now, what about cyber security, since executives are exposed to the vast audience? Because
Yeah.
cyber security is everywhere when you're on cloud. So, your take on it.
Yes. So again, it's the same thing. What we are sharing, we must be careful. If we are sharing any personal detail, does it have
Mhm.
any relation to my professional side? If it has, okay. But again, it has to be subsidized. Shall I share the entire thing? What part of it should I share? So it has got nothing to do with authenticity. It is subsidizing what I share because of the possible threats. If I share, suppose if I am sharing the names of my family members, it's a threat. Suppose if I am sharing where I am right now, so it's again a threat. There are people all around who are, you know about this phishing. So I'm not a very tech savvy person, but then again, phishing and these things exist where they just sit and wait for one opportunity to hack and use that.
True.
Now, the best
Now,
thing to do is use SAFE framework, where SAFE is the security settings, where we can check the security settings. I think even a layman like me, who was not a tech savvy person, can do that. A is awareness. What risks am I exposed to if I am sharing some of my posts or certain posts? F is filtering. Whatever I am sharing, is it adding value, or should I not share it? It might rather create some kind of a nuisance. And E is evaluating again the whole thing before posting, so that I am aware what I'm posting and whether I am susceptible to any kind of threat.
true. So, being I am from the technology background, so I've been all through technology. And as technology comes, we have to bring leadership and management. So, that's a
Yeah,
part, whole and parcel that we are trying to bring in part of our episodes that we are doing.
correct.
When we spoke about power of knowing, what we are doing predominantly on power of knowing is we talk about technology. When there is technology, you need somebody to protect it, or the assets, or the digital assets
Right,
that we are
right,
carrying. So
right, right.
that's where we brought in cybersecurity. And when you have technology and cybersecurity, somebody should be managing it. So we bring leadership qualities like what we are talking today. This is
True.
Thursday's call that we do only on management and leadership. So when management is there, we need direction. So how that direction happens is that is where we need leadership. So we call this as a four pillar drop: tech, cyberspace, leadership, and growth. So this is how we coined the whole podcast series that we have been running so far. And telling about cybersecurity, I would like to add to the audience is that we we are no more the old era where our assets were on the books and stuff. We are on the digital arena now, and
Right.
with the Data Protection Act getting
Stricter.
formalized by the government of India, the digital assets play a key role where you can be fined for a huge this one, and the entire security of the digital assets that you use is going to be in your hands, not with the government hands going forward. So I tell the audience is to look at security as a key factor for all the digital and technology devices that you are using. So be
Yeah.
careful in that. That's what is my point on the cyber security front. Coming back to our point, what is the relationship between branding and revenue generation? Because one side is brand, having a good brand will get revenue is what I want to understand.
Of course, a good brand will always get a revenue. Why not? No, yes, because revenue generation. So let's see it as growth.
Mhm.
right? When we grow, that is when we generate revenue as well. So it is a byproduct. Revenue is a byproduct, practically, if we think it that way. So if we think of growth, so what are we saying, and what are we doing? Why are we doing what we are doing? So presenting as a story, again, as I said, storytelling is the key. Presenting it as a story again is important in brand building. And how, now let me, I think it's better to say an example. A
Yeah.
very famous person, Elon Musk.
Hmm.
So what is his brand narrative? His brand narrative is sustainable development, right?
Yeah.
Sustainability. He works around sustainability. uh, Now the thing is, what he did is he developed trust among people who are his investors, who align with his mission of sustainability. So whenever we talk about Elon Musk, Tesla, we think about sustainability. It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So hence what Elon Musk's persona did is it amplified the brand, his brand and his company's brand. So both are going hand in hand. We cannot separate Tesla from Elon Musk and Elon Musk from Tesla. So what is happening? Investors find value in him, they trust him, and they are investing him, and company is growing. Likewise, he is able to draw talents. Like I said, in case of Satya Nadella, he is able to draw
Hmm.
talents who are working towards innovation, forward-thinking innovations.
Right. Okay. So coming to our next point that we want to look at, because we're talking about brand getting value to what we say as what to say generation of revenue as well. Now, how does leaders align? We spoke about a very critical aspect of a leader is to stay humble, right? And which is again going to be part of an empathy balance that we should be having. How should leaders balance humility and visibility? Both are two different aspects, right?
Absolutely. So, one thing is leaders should be visible,
Mhm.
and it has been verified that leaders who are visible, what is visibility? Visibility is familiarity, right? So leaders who are familiar or who are visible, they have 20% more trust from customers because they look at it from the point of empathy, right? So what happens is, when leaders work around that can I have the question once again, please?
So, what we are talking is a very critical aspect of the leader is to stay humble,
Oh,
right?
yes, yes, sorry.
How
Yeah,
should the
I
leaders
got it.
balance humanity with
Right, right, right,
visibility?
right, right. So now visibility is important. So the leader has to be visible. But what happens in the process is sometimes leaders put the spotlight on them. That is not the idea. The idea is to be visible on the platform, but put the spotlight on others. So how can we do that? We can use Hive framework. H is accept others' contribution. I is inspire. V is validate that yes, the person is contributing. And E is empower others. So it's not I, it's always we. It's not I did it, but my team did it. That is where you, as a leader, you have the visibility, whereas the spotlight is on your entire team. Naturally, you come across as a humble leader who gives the entire credit to the team.
What you're saying is we should be humble while the team is seeing a challenge, and we tell them we are there for you as a support.
Not
And
only as a challenge, it's like sharing whatever has been achieved. The
achieve. Okay.
achievements should be shared with the team.
So while we fail, we see how we can cope up and come out with an alternative solution. And while we succeed, how do we give the credit to the team who's made the
Yes.
pointers work for us, is what you're saying, right? Now,
Yes. Yes.
how does thought leadership influence the brand impact?
So when a leader comes across as a thought leader, the leader becomes a go-to person. So they generate a lot of inbound inquiries, which creates in turn engagement. People value the insights from the leader. They take the leader as a person who can add value to whatever they are going, or suppose they need some kind of help, suppose they are stuck somewhere, they can go to the person because they know the person will come up with some kind of a solution which will be a value addition from where they can further take on the things. So thought leadership is extremely important. Also, if you want to if you want to establish a unique value proposition, thought leadership is one very important aspect, because that differentiates you from the other leaders even in the industry among your peers.
Yeah, okay, got it. So you're saying it is visible. You don't need to give an extra work for us to look at how the visibility is coming and you become the brand. That's what you're
Of
saying?
course, of course.
Okay,
It's your
got
unique
it.
value proposition, basically, what you are putting into the plate.
Mhm. Got it. So, what should be the differentiating strategy for a leader?
The differentiating strategy is nothing else but again the unique value proposition through storytelling. My values, how they are different from others, what do I prefer, like what is my purpose, why should others be aligned to my purpose. These are the two very differentiating factors, because as we say in general, mission and vision, it's like the value and the purpose, that should be different. And the leader should be very much aware, first of all, again, inward thinking, being aligned with own self, with their mission and vision, which can be a differentiator from the others.
While aligning with the corporate brand, what boundaries should the leader be setting?
Yes. Again, we have discussed a little while ago, like posting even personal content in LinkedIn. That is number one boundary. So, how much should I post? Does this really add any purpose or value? Is someone going to draw any kind of an insight from that? And again, here is a framework that we can talk about, which is the 3R framework. Respect the audience. So, what I say, how I say, should be respectful enough. Responsibility, what content am I sharing, is the responsibility. And relevance, of course, whenever we post anything there should be relevance. Even if it is a personal post which I'm using as an example, it should be relevant to the industry or the professional front and the company as well, when we are talking of C-suite leaders.
Okay, got it. Now, with that, how should we address crisis? Because we are talking about leadership here, right? And how do we, when there is a crisis, it
Yeah.
impacts both the organization and the brand, right?
Right.
It can bring down the market share of the organization and impact on the brand as well. So, how should the leaders address crisis?
Number one, immediate communication. What happens is the shareholders or the stakeholders at least have this trust in the organization or the leader that I will not be defeated. My issues will be taken care of, right? The second thing is, okay, again, let me share one example. I don't
Hmm.
know how many of us over here are aware of that. If we have heard of the Marriott breach case,
Okay.
400 million people were affected. So they have this data storage, right? Marriott hotels, Marriott group of hotels. So the
Yeah.
data was leaked.
Mhm.
400 million people were affected. All their data were in the hands of the fraudsters. The company
Okay.
immediately addressed it. So what they did is
Hmm.
they took responsibility. They went ahead and helped the stakeholders. They intimated the agencies who are responsible in cyber fraud and cyber criminal law in USA. So this is important. What happens is, if suppose my data also got leaked from that Marriott data breach, at least I know they are working on it. I will be safe. They will do something to keep me safe. So that
Okay.
is there. It is crucial. So communication should be immediate.
Got it. Now, coming to that is, can leaders outsource their personal branding journey?
Sometimes probably they have to because of the dearth of time. It is advisable not to, because how I want to come across, what should be my audience, what should be my tone of messaging, what will be the visuals that I will add, is going to be my discretion completely. But considering if I have to delegate it to somebody else, at least I should be checking it before it is sent to the world, sent out to the world. Before it is consumed by the world, I should be checking for the tones, the messages, and everything. So until I give a green signal, I give a go ahead, things should not be posted.
So you're saying is first get the validation done, right? And if it
Of
should be
course,
authentic for us to have something which
of
is
course.
very important when we communicate this to the external world, and that can impact, is what you're saying. Am I right in saying that?
In a plain and simple language, suppose I delegate this to you, you can
Okay.
understand. If I explain my mission, my vision, what I want to do, you might understand, but you will not feel it. So it should come from inside. It's a feeling, it's an emotion.
Okay. Got it.
That is when we
So
come across as authentic.
got it, Roshni. Now, coming to the next point that I want to understand from you is, what are the biggest mistakes leaders make in personal branding?
Lack of clarity,
Okay.
lack of focus. I have seen many people, especially in LinkedIn, they
Mhm.
keep on posting about many different topics. So what happens is people get confused. What is the person wanting to say? What is the message? What insight should we take from that person? So it cannot be cluttered.
Hmm.
Your personal value or principle or mission and vision should be centralized, right? It should be around something in particular. Today I talk about leadership branding. Tomorrow I talk about, say something about HR strategy. So what do I do basically? What am I? What will people understand? Then again, one another day I go and talk about parenting. So what am I basically doing?
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense, right? So there has to be this fine balance. Like it should be centered around one single thing that which is my unique value proposition.
Got it. See, what I think what you're saying in as many words is that don't send mixed
Signals.
signals where what is that is your core strength. Let's take
Right,
example
right.
of power of knowing as a podcast forum. I just
Yeah,
wanted to have this clarified here itself as we speak. We talk about, as we said, we have a four pillar drop, and it is very clearly saying that one is tech. You need tech to be protected, cyberspace and tech needs to be managed. So we have leadership and growth, how it is to
Right.
keep growth. So we are trying to say it very clearly. It is a four pointer that is going to revolve. Whether you do technology, you need leadership. You need growth to be done with technology. When you talk
Right.
about strategy, you need again technology to be built on systems.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then, if you have to protect the organizations, again, we see either we look at policies, we look at compliance or risks. What are those things coming in? So, these are the four pillars that we've been talking as because I wanted to clarify because you gave me a very important point today in our discussion is that don't give you wrong signals. That's the pointer that I wanted to take and give an update here is that we are talking about four pillars and we are not giving wrong signals. Taking it just to keep the audience informed why
We
you
are
have
you are talking about four pillars, and I am talking about seven pillars.
now, why I'm taking this specific is we do podcast and we are on the episode of 291 today. And today our strength has been only these four pillars because Tuesdays we kept for technology and cyberspace. Wednesday we spoke about growth and strategy, which we are talking about how you can lead when people go silent, right? That is way of leadership that we are
Right.
talking about. So
Right.
that's
Right.
the pointer that I wanted to. Coming to our last point for the day, what is the process of personal branding?
So there are phases actually. In the
Okay.
first phase, it's discovery and introspection. So here, it's better to go through this rocking chair test, where
Mhm.
the leader is asked to visualize himself at the end of the career and
Okay.
think what people are talking about him and how does he wants him to be remembered as. That is the framework from where the leader, he or she, will develop the points. So then that person deep dives into the core value. When we are talking about again unique value proposition, it circles around the core value, which is possible only after driving. So, like, what is that one non-negotiable principle? One thing that is non-negotiable. So, a leader can say, maybe mentorship. I'll keep on mentoring employees. Somebody might say strategizing, and somebody might say influencing. So now this influencing is not the Instagram influencer or social media influencer. This influencing is leadership influencing.
Leadership
That is,
influence. Yeah.
yeah, that is different. Then we come to the purpose exploration. Why? If I'm doing this, why am I doing this? What do I get from it? Is it money? Is it fame? Is it happiness? Is it contentment? What is it? Then comes phase two, where it is the time for strategic alignment because the leader has now discovered. Next is the strategic alignment. So, number one important thing here is to create a legacy statement.
Mm.
Like for me, there's this one liner, believe to achieve,
Yeah.
right? So, this is the legacy statement. Now, identifying the legacy career. So, it is about empowering, it is about making future leaders, right? So, identifying the legacy careers. Is it a team? Is it a person? Who is it? Right? Then, the leader's duty is to develop a strategy around that legacy statement with the legacy carrier or carriers. This is how we go into the phases of personal branding of a leader. And to add to it, what we should not miss is the executive presence. I have seen many leaders who are really not careful about what they speak, how they sit across, how they dress up, anything, anything.
True. This was one pointer which I was told when I had a personal branding coach, maybe a dressing coach, to be very specific, image building. So I had Aarti Sharma, who's part of
Okay.
our image building. She's one of the advisors for
Yes.
us. So she was telling Prem, you should wear a watch while you get into meetings. You should wear a watch. You should carry yourself a book and a pen when
Pen.
you enter. You should carry these three things which is very important for you to get into a meeting. When you get into a meeting, you need to have one good watch. Don't think about a brand that is going to, but you need to have a good
Oh,
watch. Second is a good pen and a diary. These are three things. When you enter a room, they make a lot of difference when you get into. And the fourth pointer is your phone should be on silent.
yeah. And
So,
turned upside down, basically turned upside down, so that even if it is on silent, if the screen blinks, it's a distraction. And the
so
fifth pointer,
she also told that don't take the phone to the conference room itself.
better,
That's the point.
better.
You were saying something, sir. I cut you.
Yeah, so the fifth pointer is the clothes fit of the
Uh-huh.
clothes that you're wearing.
Okay.
And
So
do you know, like, people actually notice the shoes first?
yes.
So shoes, the color
Uh,
of the shoes, color of the socks with the outfit that you're wearing, with the trouser colors, everything matters. If you think it doesn't, it's a wrong conception, it's a misconception. Each of these matters.
Thank you for that. We have about three, four people from the comments. I'm bringing the comments here as we have done with the
Okay.
question section.
Okay.
One, Charles says greetings from Hong Kong. He's joined us. Thank you,
Hello,
Charles.
Charles.
Thank you for joining us. Then there is a point that Charles is asking. This Shiva Kumar is asking, can I have the five P's known?
Okay.
Purpose, people, and balance.
Yeah.
So
Purpose, people, process, performance, progress. Purpose, people, process, performance, and progress. These are the five P's.
Shiva, hope that answers your question. Thank you for joining and listening to our show. Next comment that I have is from Love Singh, former advisor to do. Nice interaction indeed. So that's the point. He has a question
Thank
as
you,
well.
Dr. Lab Singh.
So he has, do not worry about alignment, the personal branding with the company branding.
Yeah, we have spoken about that. It should be always aligned. Personal branding cannot be away from company branding. It's like reinforcing. Personal branding should be reinforcing the company branding. So your messages, your statements, whatever you are using should be aligned with company brand. So,
So those,
Dr. Lab Singh, one more thing that I want to add is when you talk about alignment, if you really want to dive deep, what you need to do is first think of your own mission and vision, and then think of the company's mission and vision, and then find a common point where these are matching.
I think Shiva says, thank you, excellent, insightful. So those are
Thank
the
you so
comments
much.
that we had. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you for joining us again. Uh, so, with this, we have done with the session. I'll just summarize on what we spoke in the last 50 minutes. We started with personal branding and how different it is from C-suite level leaders. Then we spoke about what the extra edge of a CEO should look at. And we spoke about the balance between authenticity, strategy without crossing unauthentic leaderships. Then we spoke about what is LinkedIn and how executives use LinkedIn for authentic power. That's the point that we spoke. Then we spoke in depth about cybersecurity for executives because that is the norm going forward because we are on the clouds space and everything is on cloud at the moment. So protect your digital assets. It becomes your responsibility is what we spoke about. Then we spoke about the revenue and the brand value, a relationship between these two pointers. Then we spoke about aligning personal brand, which I think we got a question asked just now where we were talking about personal branding with organizational branding aligning to each other. And we spoke about being humble, what leaders should balance between humility and visibility. Then we spoke about leadership influencing brand impact, how the leadership impact can happen over the organization's brand and the individual brand. That's what we spoke about. Difference Differentiation between strategy for a leader is what we spoke. Then we spoke about aligning corporate brand with boundaries, what should be set by the leader when we align with corporate brand. And we also made a very important point how leaders should be looking at managing crisis, and that's what we spoke about. Then one important point we also spoke about is can we outsource the leadership branding journey together. So at times, with what I got to know from Roshni is that we do the outsourcing based on the limitation of time and the work that we are trying to do as a leader. That's what we spoke about. Then we spoke about mistakes, and the last we spoke about is what is the process of personal branding. These are the pointers that we spoke over the last 50 minutes. Any last minute pointers that you want to add, Roshni, to the audience?
So, whether we want it or like it, do not like it, do not want it, doesn't matter. Each one of us is a brand. So, we must make our narrative, we must be responsible enough to make our narrative around how we should come across as a brand and what should we want to be perceived as by others, how we should want to be perceived by as others.
Thank you for that, Roshni. I think to the audience, we have streamed this uh, podcast to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We hope that the discussion was valuable for us, for you, and for us. And for me, it took a lot of pointers that on a personal brand and an organizational brand. I have to look at many pointers what Roshni has given. I'll take that as a input for my learning. And our next podcast is scheduled the 292nd episode on a topic from exploits to countermeasures redefining cybersecurity with AI on 23rd September at 6:30 p.m. Looking forward to see you and good day. Thank you, Roshni. Thank you for being here. And
Thank you,
with this,
Prem.
we will conclude the session. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, Prem.